Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1.
Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Thursday edition of the JP Peterson Show, presented by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. We've got Brady news, of course. We got A-Rod's news. We have to have that. It's the law. We've got Lightning winning a hockey game last night at home back in our friendly confines of Bally Arena. It was fun with a little history made last night with Corey Perry. Got a great guest lineup for you today. Tracy West from the Valspar will be joining us to break some more news on more players headed for the Valspar, including a local kid who is going to be playing on a sponsor's exemption that has a lot of people in South Tampa excited. We'll tell you about that player that we've actually had on our show previously. So we'll have those surprises for you. Rich Hollenberg's going to join us. Ray's pregame, postgame host, also does college basketball for ESPN. So we'll be talking to him about the dust up in college basketball this week with Juwan Howard. The controversy of the handshake line. Should it be going away? No, is the answer to that. And Leo Haggerty's going to join us, hopefully not with his mouth full. And we're going to talk some hockey and Buccaneers football. So we got a great show for you. Lots of good stuff to get to. The Major League Baseball ridiculousness continues to go on. I feel a rant coming on about that. I feel a full-on rant coming on about these idiots on both sides. So, yeah, we're going to get to a lot of fun stuff today. Nick Geddes joining me here from Outkick.com. How are you, sir?
Was it not the most exciting thing yesterday to have sports?
Local sports.
Local sports.
And what a game.
A great
What
game.
a game last night. You want to talk about some great hockey players out there? I mean, look at the talent that was out on that ice last night as the Lightning win 5-3 over Edmonton, and the great Connor McDavid, who is just wow. He's a wow. The MVP and Draisaitl, these guys are 1, 2, 3 in scoring in the league. You know why Edmonton's not as good as they should because their defense is awful. Mike Smith was in goal last night, getting peppered by his former mates.
And the 40-year-old goaltender there.
Yeah.
You can't stretch the pad or hold it there by 39. The post anymore.
39.
Yeah, you round up. You're 40.
It was an exciting game. It's a great vibe last night, celebrating Black History Month, and the first all-black line that the Lightning put out there a year ago, historic. Celebrated that. It was Phil Esposito's 80th birthday. We sang a little happy birthday to him.
Yes,
we got a cake for Espo last night. We'll hear Espo on some of the goal calls here just because we love to hear Espo.
Yeah. And a Gronk in the house.
Gronk was in the house last night with his nephews, it looked like.
Yeah, hottest ticket in town there.
It was a tough ticket last night.
David, Phil, and Gronk.
I heard Cooper had tough time getting extra tickets for last night.
Yeah, I bet. I mean, guys, you're starving for live sports, and you got that Hall of Fame crew coming in.
Yeah, it was a big night at Amalie. It was fun. It was really good vibe in the building, and a great entertaining game, no doubt about it. So we're going to get into that in just a second. Of course, the stadium game coming up on Saturday. You and I will be departing for that. In fact, I will be handing the show off to you so I can get over to my Southwest bus to Atlanta, and then I'm connecting into Nashville. So that'll be fun. I'm sure I'll get there about 2:30 in the morning. But you know what? It's all about the journey. Looking forward to that. So we're going to get you set for that game, which is going to be really exciting. Going to be a Nashville flavor to the whole game. We're going to have actually a special edition of the JP Peterson Show tomorrow where we're going to get you set for the Lightning game on Saturday. We'll have all the inside scoop on where to go. If you're a Lightning fan, we got the private parties and all kinds of information for you. So that'll be on tomorrow's show. All right, before we jump into Lightning, let's do a couple updates as our Lightning coverage will be extensive today. We're going to hear from Cooper, Corey Perry, who got his 400th goal last night. But a couple other things. So Brady is going to star in a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Why does this not move my needle? I've been very anti-Brady this week. I don't hide it. I don't hide it. I don't hide it.
Trying to make Brady a villain. I think maybe you're the villain here.
I might be.
You might be the villain.
I might be stirring the pot. No, it's just that I'm So much talk about Blaine Gabbert now. Get Up did a big thing on Blaine Gabbert being the next Buccaneers quarterback, and everybody was like on the set, like, this is awful. But if they're going publicly with Blaine Gabbert, that means they're hoping for Tom Brady to come back. His movie career may have to be put on hold. I'm telling you, that to me, it means that they have come to the realization that the compensation that they're asking for Aaron Rodgers, which I never thought was in play anyway because of his salary demands, he now wants to be the highest paid player by a bunch. He is working the Packers like freaking. I mean, just playing them like
he's
a
working
Stradivarius.
everybody. He's working the Packers,
everybody.
He's working the media.
He's working the Pochmara Karma cleanse going on. He's working everybody. He gets everybody to talk about him all the time. Ryan Clark, by the way, on Get Up is just so dumb with it. He must get the rundown every day, and it's like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, they said the same thing for 5 months last year. They're going to do the same thing this year.
And there's no news.
They say there's no news. They just say the same shit every day.
I mean, by the way, when you talked about that cleanse yesterday, I was a little like out of it yesterday when you were talking about
you needed a cleanse.
I needed a cleanse yesterday. I'm back though. I'm back. I feel good.
Good.
But I looked up that cleanse this morning again, and I heard other people talking about it. And I'm like, you're forcing yourself to throw up
violently. I mean, like when they describe it, it's not just like induced vomiting.
Violently.
It's like induced violent vomiting to clear your upper GI tract. It's like, what?
My point is, so you're at a 12-day cleanse, and you're forcing yourself to vomit, and you still don't have a decision for us. You go in front of millions on Pat McAfee and get everybody all hyped that we're gonna have a decision. You got nothing for us.
It takes time. You don't want to make an emotional decision when you come right out of the cleanse. You got to give it like a week till your hormones balance.
He knows
again.
what his decision is. He's playing the game.
Decision is I'm coming back to Green Bay, but I'll make you think like I'm retiring, so you throw more money at me.
Anywhere.
And yeah, you're not going anywhere. Devontae Adams is coming back. They're going to put the band back together there.
They are. I told you that.
And I think the Bucs are too.
They've restructured Kenny Clark. They restructured Aaron Jones this morning. They're putting it back in place. Come on.
Listen, and when I say that about the Bucs, I do not like last year. I was very, very adamant. Brady's coming to the Bucs. This is what they're going to do. They're going to win it 2 years ago. It's very adamant about that. I don't have that same feeling now. I don't have the sources that I had back then. I don't have the same feelings that I had back then. This is just clearly just reading the tea leaves as far as what the Bucs are doing. And it appears that they're not going to make a big splash for any of these. I think there's only really 2 quarterbacks that are in play for Arians, and that's I think Arians would love to have Deshaun Watson. I think he'd love to have Russell Wilson. I don't think management's signing off on Deshaun Watson. I don't think that's happening. So Russell Wilson to me is about the guy that they really, really want. And they don't want Carson Wentz, I don't think. I don't think they want Garoppolo. And I think if they can't get Russell, if the compensation is too much or they can't get him, then I think they're going to play the Gabbert Trask card and hope that they can talk Brady into coming back. And I think he will.
Boy,
I think he will. I don't think he's done.
I better have it on strong authority from Brady himself that I'm coming back if I'm doing that.
I don't.
I'm not.
Look, and when I say this, I'd say it's like, my thoughts on this are probably 50-50. I think it's 50-50 for Brady. And he's not anywhere else. I don't believe it at all.
Personally, I think like everybody's taking these comments from Bruce Arians like, oh, he really loves Blaine. What's he going to say? No, I hate Blaine Gabbert. He sucks. He stinks. He's a backup. I mean, he's
always liked him. And we forget he's 6'5", 235. He throws great. He runs great. No, it doesn't. But,
Blaine Gabbert is not moving any needle at all. You're not winning football games. I hate to say that to everybody.
But I'm sitting here telling you that I think actually if it's the Gabbert Trask deal, I think Trask is playing by week 4 if it's not Brady. I'm telling you this. I think that's the way they're going, and let's hope that he comes back. And I mean, I guess I should stop pissing Brady off, but I mean, look, I'm not mad at Brady. I'm mad that if indeed this rift was over the way BA handled the Antonio Brown situation, then he's wrong and he's being childish. But I think Rodgers and Brady and to some degree Russell Wilson and all these experienced quarterbacks, I think they've all kind of had a conversation either personally or just, I guess osmosively, if you will. They all want control. they want to be able to control where they go, how much money they make, who's on their team, and they want to control everything at this part of their career. And the way they do it is manipulate the system. And this is what Rodgers is doing. And I think to some degree, this is what Brady's doing. Now, Brady comes back and he tells all this, Gronk to come back and Fournette to come back and they put the band back together for 1 more year, which I think, why wouldn't you? You guys are playing at an MVP level. Give it another shot. Why not? What are you going to go do? Wrestle, Gronk? Go to hockey games your whole life? No. Now it's great. But in a couple of months, these guys are going to have the itch. I'm telling you. They're going to have the itch.
I mean, hey, Gronk's got the same situation, not quite as big as Brady. Doesn't have the family aspect, but he's tied up in a good relationship with somebody who's mega right now.
Camille Kostek.
And a lot of times I think he said like she was in LA and California during the season. Yeah. And he was in Tampa. I mean, and I know she said that she wants him to return. I did see that. So he has that going for him. So we'll see. But, I mean, it's a lot to think about. I mean, I personally told you I think the ship has sailed on Brady. I think the ship has sailed. And if you're rolling into this season with Blaine Gabbert, I hope all of y'all enjoy seeing 50,000 in Raymond James. I hope y'all enjoy it. Well, because I say that game ain't full with Blaine Gabbert playing quarterback. I
think that remains to be seen. I'm not going to get excited about Blaine Gabbert. Nobody is. But if, this is still a good roster, there's still an opportunity for Brady to come back. It's a window. And I think if you're the Bucs in this situation, if you can't get Russell Wilson, you leave that window open. That's your best option.
Well, I think that Deshaun Watson's much open though too, and the odds makers are onto something.
What do they think?
They have the Bucs as the second destination for Deshaun Watson. The first one is the Commanders, and I'm telling you right now, Deshaun Watson's not playing for that team.
Not for Dan Snyder.
He's not playing.
Why would you go from one crap organization to another?
And can you imagine? You want it about optics?
Yeah.
That ain't happening.
No.
He ain't signing off on a trade there. The next one is the Bucs, and then it's literally just a crapshoot.
I mean, and how does the NFL sign off on that, to be quite honest? Like, let's send a guy accused of 22 sexual assaults to the organization that is king of the sexual harassment.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to work.
You're going to need a new nickname for that team.
Yeah, but I think
let's start working on that nickname.
Yeah. But
that team, the Gropers. To Washington.
Going too far now.
The Groper.
Going too far.
Starring Deshaun Watson and Dan Snyder. It's the Gropers. Sounds like a sitcom from the 80s. Speaking of which, here's Brady's movie. 80 for Brady, a football-themed road trip movie. Like, this doesn't inspire you. I don't know what does. Film is inspired by a true story which tells of four best friends and New England Patriot fans who take a life-changing trip to the 2017 Super Bowl to see their quarterback hero, Brady, play the chaos that ensues as they navigate the wilds of the biggest sporting event in the country. Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Sally Field will play the quartet, wrote The Hollywood Reporter. Somehow Harry Carey got into the trailer business. I don't know what just happened there. Brady was heavily involved since the idea, somebody give me a Budweiser, and the project, and worked closely with Donna Gigliotti, the producer behind the Oscar-winning movie Silver Linings. It's a great movie. Silver Linings Playbook, great movie. Shakespeare in Love, to create the film. Wow, that's some big hitters. You need a great producer and a great director if Tom Brady's the star.
Not watching that, man.
That was a shot.
Not watching
that. Was another shot. Did you hear that?
What?
That was a shot. I said you need an Oscar-winning director and producer if you're going to make Tom Brady a star.
Oh, here you go.
Come on, seriously. So you think he's really an actor? This is like, you know what this is? This is like AB rapping. This is what it is. Brady being an actor is like AB, even if he's playing himself. No. By the way, how is it life-changing for four friends to go to make a Super Bowl trip? Like, what's on in the pod here? It's life-changing for Lily Tomlin, Jane Fonda, Rita Moreno, and Sally Field.
It sounds like a snooze fest to me. Jane Fonda.
Geriatric women.
Jane Fonda. Really?
She's like 90.
Yeah, I know.
They're all like 90.
She was big when you were a kid.
Right. She was old she was a MILF when I was a kid.
Oh,
so what is she now? She was hot back in the day when she was wearing those leggings and doing the whole aerobics things.
All I know.
Once she opened her mouth, though, it kind of went downhill.
All I know is Granny Fonda. So.
Granny, So Lily Tomlin was at one time one of the funniest women on the planet. Rita Moreno, all these Sally Field, Oscar-winning actress, she's tremendous. But you need that kind of talent to overshadow Brady's horrible acting chops.
He's directing it too, right? Is he part of the directing crew?
I just hope to God he's not writing the script full of 13 cliches back to back.
Ding,
ding, ding. What's his first line? Got to take him one game at a time.
One film at a time.
Moving on to Cincinnati. We just got to really prepare well.
We just got to prepare like this is the biggest game of the year for us.
Yeah.
And, we get better every phase game.
Yeah. I'm not, those actors, all those other people mentioned are tremendous talents. Who doesn't belong here? Tom Brady. So everybody's like, oh, well, he's going to star in a movie, so he's not going to play football anymore.
I'm reading the leaves. He's going to Hollywood, which is close to San Francisco.
That's right.
So he's a 49er next year.
Oh, no doubt. He's got to be on the West Coast to make the film on Tuesdays and Mondays, his days off.
Might as well just go report that right now.
Absolutely. It fits like a glove.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No, I'm not excited. That's what people are literally saying. Oh, well, he's moved on. He's now going to be producing and starring in a film, so his acting career's begun. He's not playing football anymore. Seriously? No, I don't think so. All right, so that's out there. Aaron Rodgers, I guess Brian Gutekunst has come out and said, hey, I didn't promise that I'm going to get him. How can you trade for Aaron Rodgers right now? So what team out there wants to pay him $60 million a year and give up 3 first-round draft picks to get him? Is the Steelers going to do that? Are the Washington Gropers going to do that? Are they going to who's going to do that? I don't see it.
For Aaron Rodgers?
He's going back to Green Bay.
He's going back to Green Bay.
He's going back to Green Bay. He's going to make a lot of money. And then next year he'll have all the freedom to go wherever the hell he wants to go.
I think more so. We kind of touched on this yesterday. We were like, can you imagine the 2 best quarterbacks in the league, arguably, like right now, or at least based on the 2021 season, not playing next year?
No, I don't believe it. It's not happening.
I think for Rodgers especially, there's no way he's retiring right now. There's no way.
No.
But, I mean, you can make the argument, okay? You can make the argument that Green Bay, if they didn't do it last year, then when's it going to come, right? You can make that argument, can't you?
Well, had they not drafted Jordan Love out and got a receiver or something who would actually help them on the field, maybe it would have put him over the top the last couple of years.
Yeah, maybe. But,
you never know.
But you can make that argument. But just the way he sounded when we played that McAfee audio, he don't sound like he's leaving Green Bay. I think that relationship seems like it's gotten way better from last offseason.
Well, plus the other part of this is, what is he searching for right now? He's searching for a Super Bowl title to validate his Hall of Fame credentials, right?
What?
He's got to back it up. He's got to back it up with more than one championship. He can't just have one.
Are you saying he's not a Hall of Famer?
No, he's going into Hall of Fame, but for his legacy.
His legacy is already cemented.
No, I think it takes a huge step forward if you have 2. I think his legacy will be most talented player, but only won 1. That's what it's going to be.
Okay, Dan Marino won none.
Well, that's his legacy.
I don't think we hold that really against Dan Marino.
Yes, we
much.
do.
I don't think we do.
Everybody does.
I don't. Okay, are we going to say the same about Drew Brees? How he went to 1 Super Bowl?
Yes, that's part of his legacy. He only won 1.
I just feel like everybody just puts Rodgers in that limelight right now.
I'm not saying that. It doesn't mean they're not Hall of Famers. They're not great. They're first ballot Hall of Famers. But if you win multiple titles, you're put into a different echelon as a quarterback.
How many quarterbacks have won multiple titles in the modern era?
Montana,
Elway,
Manning, Peyton Manning.
Both Mannings.
And both Mannings have. Brady.
Roethlisberger. Did Steve Young win 2 or just 1?
I think he only won 1.
Aikman won multiple.
Bradshaw, obviously. Greasy.
Aikman.
With Earl Morrall. Aikman. I think they're put in a different category, multiple titles.
And I look at, if you look in that list right there, Rodgers is probably the 3rd best quarterback, 4th on that list. Even with the 1 title.
I think it cements I think it makes him it puts him in a different category. I think that will be almost a knock on him. If it's already is a knock on him. People always say, "Oh yeah, he's a great, but he's only won 1." How come he's only won 1? Because he's got a crappy leadership. And he does weird stuff. which I kind of like the weird stuff part of it anyway, to be quite honest
I
with
know
you.
you're biggest fan after yesterday.
I am. I'm warming. I'm more warmed up to Rodgers and cooling on Brady.
What is wrong with you?
Just from a person standpoint. Look, and again, we say stuff on this show that nobody else is going to say, but people think it. We say what people think, and this is what people think in Tampa Bay. I think this is true. He never embraced the community. He never hung out at DI Coffee Bar. He never went. He went to Target once. He just never really embraced the community. He's never out in the community. He just, he came in here, did it, and it was great. He did what he had to do, and I thank him for choosing Tampa Bay. But a lot of it was self-serving. He didn't come here to be part of us, and then he's going to go live in Miami.
I give certain.
Can I
people
have a little bit of that?
I don't know. I always thought it was on the field is all I cared about. That's all I care about when it comes to an athlete. What you did on the field, that's my legacy for you. I don't really care if you're part of the community or not. I don't. I really don't. And Tom Brady is that like less than 1% tier of athlete where it's different for them. It's different for Brady. It's different for Michael Jordan.
When
it's
they go
different
out
for LeBron to go out in public.
Yeah, true.
It just is. And COVID was a real thing.
So
it was a real thing while he was here.
So it's different for Stamkos. It's different for Hedman. It's different for KK, who was at the game last night, by the way.
Hockey players, it's a little different.
It's a little different.
They are not in all respect, they are not the
Mike
star
Evans?
of Tom Brady.
Mike Evans?
Again, it's Tom Brady is in this.
I get it.
In the Jordan, Tiger Woods, that tier. Okay,
I get it.
You cut them some slack. You have to.
I don't know. But listen, and these are minor things. But I just say, I want to say I'm necessarily knocking him, but it would have been nice. It would have been nice.
Yeah.
See him at a charity event. It would have been nice. All right. We'll agree to disagree on that as well. So, and then, the rift and it's press conferences. You give me 4 minutes of cliches. You don't really answer any of the questions. And then you just run away. Yet you do 2 things a week. After the game, you take like 6 questions, maybe max, for 4 or 5 minutes, and then you leave. Same thing on Thursdays. No. It's like you got no time for anybody here.
I think he's earned the right to be like that. He's been doing that for 23 years, JP. He's been asked,
but so what? I don't have to like it.
He's been asked the same question. Just take out the team that they're asking about and the player they're asking about. It's the same question. And that's not a shot at media or anything like that. That's the way it works.
Let me just ask,
23 years of that.
Well, he can go but of course, when he's in charge of the man in the arena or all these, he can do his podcast. And he can do this thing but he just, it's like, I'm not going to lower myself to do anything extensive with the local media.
And he's not going to answer. He's not going to answer tough questions either. He's not.
Okay, so that sucks. It's football. Answer the tough questions.
That's why if you listen to Jim Gray, Jim Gray doesn't push back on those things.
Of course he doesn't. That's why he's handpicked to do it. He's not going to push back.
I don't know if
he does ask the questions and be asked. He doesn't push back. Right.
And I will say too, I listened to that whole hour episode they did where they had, the who's who, the business in there. They had Pelt, Coward, Chris. They had like 15 of them that were in there and asked him a question. If you listen to that hour, he gave like a 5 to 7 minute answer to everybody.
Which one was that?
Without the cliches. That's when they did that little round table over Zoom. And they had 15 of the biggest media members, Schefter, everybody that's a name in this business was in there.
I'll go.
And they all got to ask Brady one question. And he answered everything thoroughly, 5 to 7 minutes, and it wasn't cliched. And so if you have that theory about he didn't treat the local media members,
right.
If you listen to that, there is credit. I'll give you that.
That's national, but that's national. Right?
Yeah.
And again, you are absolutely right. He owes me nothing. But does he owe the fans of Tampa Bay a little bit more?
If you polled the fans, I think everybody would say, thank you for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And leave it there. Like, that's where I'm at of it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
And that's great. And it was fantastic. But, it's it was also incredibly self-serving as well. He came to get what he wanted. He got what he wanted. And when he didn't have everything he wanted, he took his ball and he went home.
God, you're making him sound like LeBron right now when he leaves all his situations.
I'm just trying to be. I say the things that other people are thinking, but won't say.
Okay.
And you don't think there's people the Buck fans out there that agree with me?
I'm sure they are. They need to snap out of it.
At FanStream JP.
They need to thank him for the Super Bowl, shine his shoes, and let him go.
Yeah.
That's what you need to do. Let him go.
That's fine.
Just let him go.
That's fine. And that's, again, thank you. But I can, it could have been better. It could have been one of us. He never really was, except when on the boat parade. All right. So where are we at this? Let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll get into the Lightning game last night. We got to hear from Cooper, Corey Perry on his 400th. I'll give you an update on MLB too as well. Rich Hollenberg is going to join us at the top of the hour, 11 o'clock. And we'll talk about some Rays baseball and also what's happening with these knuckleheads. Next. Hey, folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com.
JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636. Or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com. Homeowners, listen up. Property values have risen in the Tampa Bay area to record levels, some up to 24% in 1 year. It's time to refinance your home and pull out the equity before rates go through the roof. Call my man Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Scott believes interest rates will be over 5 very soon due to the volatile economy and inflation, but you can still lock in the mid-3s, but not for long. This means you can save tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Now, Scott is an independent broker, so he can shop your mortgage around for best rates, and he will pay for your appraisal if you mention you heard it here on the JP Show. That's a $500 to $700 value. Scott does not charge the huge upfront fees like the big banks do. In this uncertain economy and political climate, better to have cash in hand now. So call Scott at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com.
Coming back at you.
Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Don't forget to like us or subscribe on YouTube. You can watch the show there anytime. All the shows are categorized right there. And you can also watch us on Twitter. You can watch us on Facebook. And you can listen to us on our app, FanStream Sports. Download the app. You can listen any time. And we are brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo, also the Gold and Diamond Source. Don't forget, always a great time to go shopping at the Gold and Diamond Source for birthdays, Mother's Day coming up. We just had Valentine's Day, but it's never a bad day to just go in there and shop. And it's not just for you ladies. You guys looking for a distinctive ring, maybe a bracelet or a chain. It's all there for you at the Gold and Diamond Source. I love watches. I don't have the money to afford really big dollar watches, but they have nice, gently used ones there that you get great deals on. Whether you like the tags or the
or the rollies. All good stuff right there. It's like a toy store right there. So check it out. It's the Golden Diamond Store. Steve and Julie Weintraub, great local benefactors, always doing great things in the community. So keep the money local, folks. Shop those local places and tell them JP sent you. Just about 15 minutes from South Tampa. Golden Diamond Stores. Check them out. All right, the Lightning with a big 5-3 win last night over Edmonton as they stand in second place. I think now, 3 points behind the stinking Panthers?
Yeah.
Who are really, really good. But last night, it was a good start. They didn't have the heavy legs we've seen in a couple of these games after long layoffs. Patty Maroon got the first goal, kind of a little scrum in front. And then you have the Steven Stamkos goal. I'd love to hear the call of the Steven Stamkos goal. This was a wicked wrista. After Connor McDavid had tied it up 1-1 in the first on a power play with just a laser-like shot that no chance on. Connor McDavid. This just in. Really good playmaker.
Good player, eh?
Pretty good play. Like every time you said that, every time he's got the puck on his stick, you just think something special is going to happen.
It doesn't matter what it is.
It's going to create something.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot like Kucherov. Just watching those guys play last night was such a treat. But here's Stamkos said, don't forget about me. Watch this shot. Watch this one.
Killorn checked by Lagesson. Puck for Sergachev, left point. Left point, Killorn. Left circle, Stamkos. Wheels. Shoots. Score! Up and over Mike Smith's right shoulder. Stamkos has made it 2-1 Lightning with 14.4 seconds left in the first.
Boy, when you're going to shoot the puck, that's the way to shoot it. He just wheeled, and he fired it, and it went right over Smitty's shoulder, I believe his right shoulder, and just nailed it. Stamkos shoots it. Oh, it deflected, David. That's what happened. It deflected off of a defenseman and changed positions.
Went right over that shoulder of Mike Smith, though. That was a wicked wrist by Stammer. His 24th of the year. He's having a great season. Would have loved to seen him in the Olympics with all the rest of the guys. Lightning would have owned the Olympics.
God, they would have had half the team. Half the roster of Lightning would have been in those Olympics.
Yeah. Cooper coaching Canada.
Yeah. I didn't think he was so bummed he didn't get to see McDavid right in front of his eyes.
It was stolen from us.
It really was. It really was.
Hate you, China, for so many things. But that I really loathe you for.
Yeah.
China. So that made it 2-1, 15 seconds before the first break. Big momentum builder there. Pointer got a goal, and then let's do the Corey Perry goal. This was history last night as he becomes one of 9 active players with 400 goals. And this is what it sounded like on the Lightning Radio Network.
Sergachev a quick up to Maroon across the blue line left circle. Pat Maroon is checked by Lagesson. Maroon stays with it left corner. Gets it loose. Sergachev score! Let Perry tip that.
I think Perry touched it.
Goal number 400 for Corey Perry. Sergachev took the shot. And Corey Perry, if he touched that, it's goal number 400.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. Corey Perry, congratulations. Goal number 400. And he makes it 4-1 Lightning.
Good shot by Sergachev and a great tip by Perry.
Man, that kid, that guy has some sweet hands in front of the net. Sweet hands.
Yeah, not everybody's doing that in front of the net.
No.
And to go right in front of a shot like that, coming right at you. Oh,
hey, I'm going to skate in front of the net as Sergachev steps into a 90 mile an hour right from the circle, not even from the point, from the circle. That was a bullet.
And I don't care what goalie you are. Forget about it.
You got no chance.
Forget about it.
No chance on that redirect.
that one almost popped the bottle.
Yeah. So they go on to win it. McDavid scored again to make it 4-3. And then with the goalie pulled, he just makes an incredible play, feeds it over to Draisaitl. It goes off the post. Oh, man, that was we were headed to overtime hockey with Draisaitl, McDavid, Kucherov, Pointer, Hedman, all on the ice, Stamkos. That would have been phenomenal.
Maybe that's what they should start doing at All-Star Weekend. Forget the game. Can we just get the best 3-on-3 players, regardless of everything, and just play 3-on-3 though?
Yeah.
Let's do teams like that.
Yeah.
I think that'd be much better to watch.
Yeah. I love the 3-on-3. Would have been fun to see those guys skating in that open ice.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
I just don't know how the puck didn't go in. I don't know how it stayed out because McDavid, I don't know how he found that lane. Like, I've watched that over and over today.
The pass.
I just don't understand how he sees that. I mean, he's playing.
They're different. Those guys are different. Them and Kucherov are just different. They see stuff we don't see.
And even McDavid, though, he's just on his own level. Yeah. He really is. There's nobody in this league that can touch him.
It's just way before it happens, they see it.
Yeah.
It's uncanny the way they do that. All right, let's listen into Coop from last night afterwards, talking about the great Corey Perry and what he brings to this team.
How exciting is it to be able to share a moment like we had tonight with the Miles?
Yeah. Yeah, didn't want to get it on his breakaway, but he gets it probably fitting for the way Corey Perry scores his goals, just going to the net and having it go off him. Getting to know Corey over the last few months that he's been here, he going to the Hall of Fame as a player. He goes to the Hall of Fame just as a teammate, and you're excited for guys to hit these milestones because they don't come easy, and it couldn't happen to a better guy.
Anything that surprised you?
Did you bring your couch today, or
got off the couch?
Got off the couch. I'm so impressed. You got your nice
Leo.
tie.
Look at that. Leo will be joining us 11:15.
Sorry.
Anything that surprised you about Corey this year that you thought about what he was like before? You coached against him, but was it that?
Well, I didn't realize how good a goal scorer he is, how good he is around the net. Like, he is a slick, sneaky, skilled player in the blue paint, like all around there. He's just oozing with hockey sense all around the net there. For whatever people saying, well, maybe he's not the most fleet of foot, it doesn't really matter with him. And you can see, because he's just so smart, but he's way better around the net than I ever thought. And we never saw him. He played in the West the whole time. So, but to get to see him up close, it's impressive. He knows what he's doing out there.
It's John Cooper. Let's cue up a little Corey Perry for hear his take on last night in this journey to 400 goals. Just tremendous what he's added. And Cooper said later on in the soundbite, it's no accident in Montreal and Dallas kind of muddling teams until Corey Perry got there and helped to put them over the top. He just knows how to win. He knows how to get the big goals. We've seen it this year in these 6-on-5 situations. I think he scored 4 or 5 times, and the Lightning have gone on to win games. It's special.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I was trying to think of who he reminds me of. And do you remember Marian Hossa? Do you remember him when he played?
Yeah.
He did the same thing Perry did. He went to, Pittsburgh first, then Detroit. And that's when they went back-to-back in the finals. And
right.
Detroit won the first year, and then he went to Pittsburgh. They won. So he missed out on those. And then the third year he went to Chicago, and they won the cup. So, I mean, he has a chance to do the same thing Hossa did, playing 3 cups like that. I don't think Kessel did, no, but Hossa did.
Yeah. This is special. And this guy, I knew he would be a good fit here, but not like this. I didn't think we'd see 14 goals. And just think about it, he went 17 games without scoring.
Yeah, if you would have told me he gives you 14 goals for 82 games, I'm taking it. But now
he's going to be mid-20s.
Yeah, we're looking at 20 to 25.
Yeah.
So
and probably some big ones in the playoffs too.
Yes, absolutely.
You need guys like that when you're going. And by the way, our good friend Paul Wilson, who's listening to the show, our local media giant and actor who acted in Big Stone Gap. Great movie, by the way, if you haven't seen it. Donna Gigliotti produced the Big Stone Gap, so Paul knows her well. And I'm like, well, let's get some intel. Let's see if we can find Brady really good in the Hollywood. By the way, Gronk was at the game last night. You mentioned that.
Yes.
Why is he still living here?
Why is Gronk still living here?
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to start this narrative right now? Are you really? You just
if he was moving on, wouldn't he be at his house in Arizona or wherever his big McMansion is?
Gronk is going to stay here in Florida. He's going to stay here in Florida.
Oh, you mean do a business here, like be out in the community like he's been?
His family lives in Fort Myers. He's going nowhere.
Gronk's a big star, He goes out into the community. He owns restaurants here.
No,
he's always doing.
He's not Brady.
He's coming out to. I
He's
saw
not
him.
Brady.
I saw him at the Low Cash album drop.
It's cool.
He's always around.
It's cool.
He's a big star.
I just told you why he's still here.
Because he's not
done
playing.
His family lives in Fort Myers. He's not going anywhere.
Fort Myers is not Tampa. Hello.
Okay,
2 hours
would you
away.
rather live in old folk Fort Myers or live in Tampa?
Tampa.
Okay, there you go.
Well, he has other options. Those aren't the only options. You don't have to live with your parents, as far as I know.
Not everybody has to ingratiate themselves in the community. Not everybody does.
I know that. I'm just saying some people do and some people don't. I like the people that do.
Can we listen to Corey Perry now?
Let's listen to Corey Perry.
Yeah, exciting. Like I said, it's a great personal accomplishment, but I have to give a lot of credit to the guys I played with in the past, guys here, and it's exciting. I mean, never thought growing up that I'd hit 400 goals in the NHL, and I'm pretty excited and happy right now.
I'm proud of Corey. Just being with him as a rookie and
Perry.
him taking me kind of in and making me a better player, a better leader, how to mature into the game. And I know it took him longer than he expected, and I'm just really super proud of him. And I mean, 400 goals, that's freaking amazing. I mean, a lot of people can't say they scored 400 goals in this league, and the way he plays the game, how hard he plays, how he gets to the net. He sticks up for his teammates. He plays it the hard way, and he scored 400 goals the hard way, and I'm very proud of him. And now I can say I assisted on all 400. No. No, it's good, though. Like I said, Corey's a great leader. He deserves everything, and I know his wife and son were in the crowd tonight, so that makes things a little more special. And Griff has something to talk about, and proud of him. He earns it.
Absolutely. What a player, what an addition he has been to Tampa Bay. Just fantastic. And I think this Lightning team has their best hockey is ahead of them. With all the games that Pointer and Kucherov have missed, they just have not gotten in a flow. Heard Cooper say yesterday that hockey's a game of rhythm, playing every other day, which they're going to do now. They've got 30 games now in 60 days. So it's going to be a lot of hockey. They've got long road trips, but this is where you build your chemistry and build your momentum for the postseason.
And I think they're more than equipped to do it.
Yeah.
Everybody's making a big deal about the 31 and 60, and it sounds insane. But for a team like this that has been doing it for years, you throw anything in front of them, they can do whatever. They can do whatever. I mean, they're going to get through it. I think other teams would be like, let's get through this going 500. The Lightning are probably going to get out of this being the 1 or 2 seed in the Atlantic, I'd say, going into the playoffs, and they'll be just fine.
Yeah, I look forward to this matchup if it is with Florida or Carolina. It's going to be a hell of a playoff series, and I just we got to get there first. And I'd like that at Game 7, which I think a series with Carolina and Florida.
Might have a lot of Game 7 series this year.
I'd like for that to be at home. I'd like for that to be at home. Yes, I'd like for that to be at home. Very selfishly. So these games matter. These regular season games matter. They really do.
Can we play the Pacific Division for the entire season? Can we do that?
Would be nice. We're 9-1-1 against them this year.
23-1.
23-1 over the past 2 years against the Pacific. Wow. But yes, entertaining game last night to be sure. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Tracy West, tournament director at Valspar, is going to join us. He's still out recruiting players. The field is exploding. We have one local budding star, who is going to get a sponsor's exemption that we had brought up last year. It was too late to get him in, but we got him in this year. So we'll chat with Tracy West about all things Valspar next. The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, wow the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com.
Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now, so go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727. Area Modern Medical Center. That happened to me a few years ago. I found out I had the testosterone level of a second-grade girl. That's not good. Our food, environment, and stress can cause your T levels to drop. Bay Area Modern Medical Center can help, and they are different. They offer customized hormone replacement for both men and women. Christopher Lugo and his medical staff can help you restore your energy, your sex drive, and your feelings of well-being. It was a total game changer for me. I have way more energy, lost 30 pounds, and I'm performing better in all areas of my life. Nobody wants to talk about sexual health, but it's key to a balanced life. We offer discreet treatments with real-world results. So if you're suffering from a lack of interest in sex, ED, or lack of sexual stamina, Dr. Lugo and his staff can help. Take your health care to the next level at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show with JP on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. You can reach him at palermopa.com. All right, we're also brought to you by the Valspar Championship, one of our sponsors. We love them so much. And Tracy West, the tournament director, joins us right now from parts unknown, but I guess it's maybe near a golf course somewhere. What's up, Tracy? How are you?
I'm great, JP. How are you? And yes, I am at the lovely Innisbrook Resort in our tournament office right off of the second green.
Oh, how's it out there on a beautiful day? All the flowers are blooming now, spelling out Copperhead. It's gorgeous. I love that place.
It is, yeah. The course looks great. It's in tremendous condition. We're so excited. The build is just fast and furious. It's like a nice dust on the calm surface, and we're paddling like crazy underneath. And there's a lot of activity going on.
I know, to get ready for these tournaments, the build out is just it must be just unbelievably detailed work. And I would imagine that every day about 50 different snags pop up that you got to figure out as tournament directors. So you guys do such a tremendous job. And we just show up. It's like, oh, playing golf, the seat over here. And behind the scenes, the work you all do, it must be crazy. And getting players obviously is the biggest part that you do. So give us an update on who are some of the latest to jump on board.
Yeah, it continues the field continues to get stronger and stronger. So we've had quite a few commitments. The last time you chatted, Kevin Kisner, Jason Day, nice. Graham McDowell, Martin Keimer, Davis Love, Charlie Hoffman, Bill Haas, a lot of major winners. Nice. I should have Joaquin Neiman committed here in the next couple of days.
Great.
So a lot of guys, and some big names are still going to commit by Monday media day. So I'm pretty excited.
Well, you mentioned Joaquin, who just won out at L.A., and he's a local guy here. He basically grew up. I think he moved here when he was 15 or 16 and was stationed out at Saddlebrook, where he really kind of learned the game. He's been an international champion in so many ways. But now, what is he, 23 years old and now 3-time winner on tour? Do I have that?
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And he, hails from Chile, I believe.
Chile,
was
yes.
where before he moved to the States. And really nice young man. Really didn't know a lot of English until he moved here, but now just well spoken, just a good kid, and just such a talent. And speaking of local, we have another local player that we gave a sponsor exemption to. So a kid by the name of Jackson Suber, who's Plant City High School standout, is a senior at Ole Miss right now. Happens to be number 7 collegiate player in what's called the PGA Tour University rankings. So he can finish top 5 in that. He'll earn his card out of the Corn Ferry Tour right away without having to and go to Corn Ferry Q School and all that. So we're hoping a lot of people want to come out and cheer him on. So it's always nice to, have a real local kid in the field too.
Yeah, Jackson is he's been on my show a couple of times. I know his father very well. We're members out of Palmacia. He broke the course record out there, where of course Walter Hagen has played and Bobby Jones has played, and so many Sam Snead, so many greats have played at Palmacia. He now owns the course record. He shot 58 on a par 70 out there. And if you've ever played Palmacia, they just had the Gasparilla Invitation, though, the top mid-ams in the nation. They played 3 days and they finished 10 under for 3 days. And he went out there and shot a 58 one time. This kid is incredibly talented. He's the nicest young man. I don't mean to correct you, but these people will kill me if I don't. It's Plant High School, not Plant City. I've made that mistake before myself.
Yeah, you're right.
So, trust me, I don't want. They'll be like, they're yelling at me. No. And I've made that mistake many times. Many of us do. So it's Plant High School. And just a great young man. He's going to bring there's going to be a huge gallery following him. See, you just sold about 1,000 tickets by getting him the sponsors exemption. I hope you know.
Well, we're hoping so, right? I mean, we're hoping that, will translate into, it's wonderful for it to be ticket sales, but we want a lot of people to come out and cheer for him, and make him feel comfortable. I mean, this is his PGA Tour debut, and certainly, a lot of is expected out of him, moving forward to have a great career. So what a wonderful way to hopefully get him, off to a right start. So we're happy to do it. And the tournament's had, a nice history of trying to do that for local kids. Not always, can't do it at a time. When there's a kid that we feel, has a really good chance of making it onto the tour, we're happy to try and give an exemption in those limited circumstances.
Yeah, Lee McCoy played in 2016. He was from Palm Harbor and University of Georgia and finished 4th that year. I mean, he had a chance to win it. I remember interviewing him, and just what a nice young man he is. And he played so well. Jimmy Stanger from Gaither High School, Chris Koepka from USF. I mean, Valspar's done a great job of giving us that local flavor. And we're not going to put any expectations on Jackson. We just hope he goes out there and enjoys himself. And but he's a hell of a player. He's won 3 NCAA tournaments. He knows how to win. I'm not saying he's coming out there to win, but I would not be shocked if he made the cut, because as you've mentioned, he's played a lot of golf out at Copperhead, a lot of junior tournaments. So he's very familiar with the course, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And he came out and to my tournament office this fall and just spent a lot of time chatting. And as you hit the nail on the head, really nice young man. I mean, just very respectful, just super personality. And, it's really nice to be able to provide someone of that caliber with an opportunity. So we're excited to have him, but he's, as you said, he's got his work cut out for him against another 143 of the world's best golfers. So it's going to be fun.
Tracy West joining us here from the Valspar. We talked a lot about this, but for people hearing it the first time, let's run down some of the other amenities that are going to be out there. And first, let's start with the Saturday ticket. Are you sold out yet with Saturday tickets?
Oh, no, not yet.
Good.
We welcome, basically no capacity limits this time. We want as many people to come out and enjoy the tournament. And certainly Saturday, you're alluding to our Valspar Live. So basically the ticket on Saturday, any grounds ticket or hospitality ticket someone buys they're also welcome to attend the Valspar Live concert right after play. And what that is a huge concert that happens on the second driving range here at Innisbrook right after play on Saturday off of our 14th fairway. And we are blessed to have two great acts that are going to play. Big and Rich, big country, legends will open the concert. And then the main talent is Chris Young, who is so popular right now in country music. So we're really excited to have them both take the stage here at our Valspar Live concert.
And some of the other very popular hospitality places, the Hooters Owl's Nest, that usually sells out. We only got 3 weeks to go. So can you still get those on, and then tell us about some of the other premium hospitality folks might be interested in.
Yeah, absolutely. So Owl's Nest tickets, Hooters Owl's Nest tickets absolutely are still available. But those, as you said, particularly on Friday and Saturday, those will get to a they're not yet, but people do, if they want to do, have that sort of ticket, they do need to get on that and get moving. But we have them for all 4 days. The Hooters Owl's Nest is open. We've got obviously an upscale ticket called the Snake Pit Club Hopper ticket that people can purchase, and those will also sell out probably on Friday and Saturday. Then certainly grounds tickets, and even just if someone purchases a grounds ticket, there's so many venues that they can go to that are complimentary and included in that. So starting off on our third green, there is the Valspar Chameleon Cove, and folks can, sit and in colorful Adirondack chairs with their toes in the sand and watch play coming through.
Love it.
Is like our Josh Sellers wine deck on screen, our Mccoy Ultra Club, which has a ton of fun games in it and so forth, and obviously a ton of beer between our 9th and 10th greens, to our Horse Soldier Lounge with our whiskey lounge that's on the 10th green, and our margarita deck on the 13th green. These are all venues that are included that fans can go into. Purchase food, hospitality, drinks. We've got a great fun area called the Publix Chill Lounge, which is a lot of fun, different session food areas and neat areas to sit at. So there's something for everybody, when they come out. A lot of fun expos for people to, see. Gosh, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the Frenchie's Pool deck area.
That's right.
Get some she crab soup.
Mm-hmm.
So it's there's a lot of amenities and great people watching and so forth. And we're known as the most colorful PGA Tour tournament in the world, and we really try and live up to that. JP, remember, Thursday is St. Patrick's Day, so what a great place out. Yeah, spend St. Patrick's Day. We'll have a lot of green beer. The first 10,000 fans are going to get a complimentary green koozie from Valspar. So
nice.
There's something every day happening.
I didn't know. So now we got St. Patrick's Day and the Valspar Championship. Do you have any Irishmen in the field? Is Harrington or any of the Irish guys playing at all? Do we know yet? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, we do. Graham McDowell.
Graham McDowell, yes.
Shane Lowry.
Shane Lowry, the ultimate Irishman. Yes. Wow. I'm following those guys.
And the best part of it all is our general chair, Rondé Barber, is along with our vice general chair, John Astrap. They will be, and our past general chair, Keith Robinson, the three of them will be greeting fans in kilts. So there you go.
Rondé's going to be in a kilt.
Rondé.
That is worth the price of admission right there. Because that dude never wears shorts. Never. Like, I play sometime. I don't know why, but he plays like he's got long pants. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He just doesn't like. And now you got him in a kilt, man. I don't know how you did that, Tracy, but good on you.
Hey, he's a wonderful general chair. Obviously, he loves this tournament and will do anything for the success of this event. And as all our Copperheads do, it's a real community effort. And Rondé's going to wear a kilt. Is Brady playing on Monday? You get him out there? No, not yet.
Okay,
we're trying.
I've been bagging them all day. I think I wanted to get more involved in our community, and everybody is mad at me for saying that. But I would like to see him out there. I like to see him doing stuff. Like Gronk's always out, everybody's always out. But I understand he's got a little different level of fame than most, so I get it. It's probably crazy wherever he goes. But we are going to have Colin Morikawa, number 2. We got Dustin Johnson, number 4. Andrew Schauffele. I mean, it's star-studded. Sam Burns coming back to defend. It's to be fantastic, and maybe even more by Monday. So Well, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. There's another couple big names at least.
All
So
right.
we're excited, and ticket sales are going really well, and I think the community is rallying and wants the event to be successful. And really, honestly, just get back outside and get with some folks. And what better place to come than come watch the Copperhead. And you don't even have to be a massive golf fan, right? I mean, it's just fun. The people watching and the food and the different activities that we've got going on. So it's the place to be in Tampa Bay, no question, during that 4-day period.
Absolutely. Cannot wait. Weather's going to be great. So many great things to do. It's a social event. It's a golf event. It's everything. And we got local kids to root for. Got it all. Tracy, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time as always and all the work that you and your team are doing to put on a great event. Cannot wait for that week. And it's coming up soon, just a few weeks away, 3 weeks away. So we will see you out there and talk to you next week about the new names. Thank you so much.
Thanks, JP.
Appreciate it. Great Tracy West right there. I cannot wait. All right, we'll take a break. And when we come back, Rich Hollenberg's going to join us, and we're going to talk some college basketball. He does college basketball at ESPN, obviously does Rays pre and post. So we'll talk all that great stuff with the fantastic Rich Hollenberg. Stay with us. Homeowners, listen up. Property values have risen in the Tampa Bay area to record levels, some up to 24% in 1 year. It's time to refinance your home and pull out the equity before rates go through the roof. Call my man Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Scott believes interest rates will be over 5 very soon due to the volatile economy and inflation, but you can still lock in the mid-3s, but not for long. This means you can save tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Now, Scott is an independent broker, so he can shop your mortgage around for the best rates, and he will pay for your appraisal if you mention you heard it here on the JP Show. That's a $500 to $700 value. Scott does not charge the huge upfront fees like the big banks do. In this uncertain economy and political climate, better to have cash in hand now. So call Scott at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Hey, folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defect, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure.
Fan Stream Sports with JP.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the law offices of Christopher Palermo. Our second hour brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a different approach to your personal health and well-being. They are proactive in looking at your total body approach, not just when you get sick. It's the Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Christopher Lugo and his team will
get you right. So go to BAMMC.com for more information. All right, let's welcome it's baseball season. Well, hopefully soon. So that means we love to chat with Rich Hollenberg, pre- and post-game host, Bally Sports Sun, Rays Network, also does college basketball for ESPN. So we're getting ready for March Madness. What's up, Rich? How you doing, buddy?
Good to be with you as always, JP.
Yes, and so much to talk about. I mean, first things first is hope the owners and players get this done. I know it looks bleak right now, but and they're talking about if they don't get a deal done by Monday, they might miss some games. I can't fathom that baseball will lose a large portion of this season, given the climate right now. What do you think? You optimistic?
I'm eternally optimistic.
Good.
The thing that concerns me is that I am right in line with you and I think everybody else, where we just keep saying over and over again, there's no way that they're going to let this happen, right? I mean, given what's gone on the last couple of years, there's just no way. And here we are. They're talking Monday a deadline. We're at Thursday. We're 4 days away from missing baseball games. And unfortunately, the biggest caveat to all of this is once that does happen, if that does happen, I should say, JP, then that opens the door to another completely unique and different set of arguments for the two sides to have, which is, do we extend the playoffs? Do we play a shortened season? Because all of those things are things that these sides have not been able to agree upon.
Right.
The owners are saying, okay, fine. We'll still play a shorter season, but we expand the playoffs. And players are like, no, we're not doing that. So it's not like once this happens, then the sides say, okay, we'll agree on everything. It just opens the door for even more dominoes to fall in the wrong way. That's what really scares me the most. But am I still optimistic despite all that? Yes, I am.
It's unfathomable that you have, given the climate politically and economically that we're in right now, that these baseball players and these owners, billionaires and millionaires, are arguing over what amounts to pennies to them, and they're not going to play baseball because a game, getting paid to play a game, you're making millions off a game, and they can't figure it out. It's mind-boggling. They just seem to have lost perspective a little bit here. Just meet in the middle and let's get on with it, for God's sakes. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy for us to say.
I know.
I was thinking the same exact thing. I saw some of the numbers yesterday when they were talking about minimums and this and that, and the numbers are about something like 100,000 off.
Yeah.
When you're talking, and I know they would argue, I understand that they would argue when you get down to the granular level, player to player, everyone's thinking about the $1 million contracts. They're not thinking about the guys who are scrapping and clawing their way through the minors just to get a shot at a big league deal. These are the guys who are suffering, not the multimillionaires who have multi-million-dollar, multi-year contracts. But still, it's like $640,000 for the owners, $750,000 for the players. So you can't just say, okay, $700,000, just so that we don't have egg on our face and we can move forward. Isn't it supposed to be collective bargaining in good faith? Isn't that good faith?
It is, and you wonder, they know that the fans have an option on how to spend their dollars, and if you do this, those fans might say, we're done with you, like they did after the strike of '94. A lot of fans, it took a long time for people to come back. If you do that in this climate, I don't know. Baseball, not a good idea. All right, let's just talk for a second. Let's get excited about this team, shall we? Because I'm excited about this team. I mean, I know there's some moves to come, and we may have to say goodbye to KK or whatever. But this team, I mean, Wander Franco, so many young players that are coming up. You talk about a Josh Lowe. I mean, so many good young players, and the team and the guys that we already have, a pitching staff that Corey Kluber added. It's exciting when you start looking at this roster, is it not?
Yeah, it definitely is. I feel as good coming into this season as I did last season. Yeah. And I'll go on record. I don't remember when you and I talked last year
Mhm.
if I said I think the Rays are going to win the American League East, but I certainly knew that they're going to contend. I'd certainly like to say, of course, I predicted it. You can go back and listen. But I do feel really good about this team, as good as I felt last year. There are always going to be difficult decisions, and when those decisions get made, they're going to be difficult for the fans to swallow. The one thing, ownership aside, and I'm not castigating the owners or the front office at all, but the one thing that I can assure every single fan listening to your show, JP, is that Eric Neander and Matt Silverman and Brian Auld and Pete Bendix, and you go down the line for the front office, they really do care about these players. They are making decisions based on the business side of running the Rays organization. It is their job. It is their responsibility. If we were in their position, we would be doing the same thing, but they are not doing it with a smile or a smirk on their face. It pains them to have to even consider trading away someone like Kevin Kiermaier, which may or may not happen. But everybody is on the table. There are no, right now, Wander Franco is the only untouchable.
Right.
Everybody else is touchable. And Rays fans should not only accept that, but should appreciate that. Because at the end of the day, what do we all want to do, fans and players and front office alike? We want to win.
Yeah.
And the Rays have been winning as well or better than anybody in the American League the last few years.
Rich Hollenberg joining us here. And the thing we don't realize is, when you're bringing back players, it's like, okay, will we be better? Yeah, because most of these guys are young players and they're just learning their way in the game. And, typically talented young players get better, especially in this organization. They're great at player development. They put players in the best position to flourish. And I think Randy Arozarena could have an MVP season. I see Austin Meadows could be on the trading block. Who knows? He's got MVP caliber opportunity. Josh Lowe. I mean, we've been talking about this guy forever coming up. You go into the pitching staff as well. There's just young guys like Patino. We've seen the great tools that these guys are working with. Rasmussen. I'm interested to see if he adds a Shane McClanahan. I mean, this kid can get better and better and better. Shane Baz, we just saw glimpses of these guys. That's exciting to me to watch these young kids grow. Your thoughts?
Yeah. And one of the things that I think the Rays do better, if not the best of any team in Major League Baseball, is find that balance, that mix, that chemistry, if you will, between the young up-and-comers developed through the Rays system and then picking up a couple of veteran guys. A lot of times it ends up being veteran arms, but veteran guys forming a cohesive team where everybody plays for themselves and with themselves, but for the bigger picture.
Yep.
Everybody, whether you are an up-and-comer or a veteran near the end of your career, the one thing they have in common more than anything else, JP, is they're all playing with a chip on their shoulder and they're all playing for one goal in mind. And that is not a contract. That is to win a World Series. And Rays have kind of discovered that, I think, better than any other team has, is you can't just win building through your system. You can't just win by going out and overpaying for free agents. You have to find the right mix. And the Rays, the last handful of years, have been able to navigate those tricky waters. And they found the right mix of veteran guys and young up-and-coming guys, of free agents and system guys, farm hands. And it all just seems to come together in concert for them in a way that other teams are left scratching their heads in admiration for the way the Rays do things.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They've revolutionized baseball. This is probably a discussion for a later time. These changes in the CBA are probably going to affect the Rays negatively when we get down to some of these competitive balance things. So we'll see how that all works out. But they're smart enough to figure out, how to win even on a limited budget. So I'm not too concerned about it. Let me ask you a little bit about just the college basketball scene. I know you've been at some of the big arenas this year, and you've worked with Dickie V in the past. And it's college basketball just ain't college basketball without Dickie V. And he's battling cancer right now. I know he's a good friend of yours. Have you talked to him? Have you got a sense for his situation right now? Because I know we're all pulling for him. It's just such a beloved man.
Yeah, that it's kind of you to bring up, JP, because the more we talk about Dick, I think those positive vibes everybody is sending to him really have an impact on him. I'm not a doctor, and I'm not someone to say that it will make him better, but I know that it fills his heart and makes him feel better when he reads and hears and sees all the well wishes that he's getting. No one has spoken to him, JP. He's on voice rest for at least the next few weeks because he had that separate issue apart from cancer, which was these lesions on his vocal cords that he just got operated on a week or so ago in Boston. That was something that happened to him a number of years ago. And fortunately, he was able to come through that particular surgery and be okay. So the expectation from what Dick is hearing from his medical professional that he's working with is that he will be able to come through this as well. But as of right now, I find it hard to believe when these words come out of my mouth. Dick is not speaking right now.
I know.
If you could imagine that.
It's killing him.
But he is wearing out the whiteboard. I know that. And he is wearing it out on Twitter.
Yes, he is.
And so if you are so inclined, whether you follow him or not on Twitter or on Instagram, look him up, and send him a message because he sees all of them. He reads all of them. And it really does mean the world to him, the outpouring of love that he's gotten, not just from the college basketball community, but from every sports fan who knows the name Dick Vitale. And as you said so eloquently, JP, he is synonymous with college hoops.
He really is, and we wish him the best. He's, I know he listens to the program from time to time. So if you're in Dickie V, get better, man. We're sending you all the healing vibes. We love you, my man. And we talk about college basketball because we love it. And this incident that happened with Juwan Howard was regrettable on so many levels, but it also brought out a lot of different opinions on the handshake line. And I know Dick was kind of like, well, maybe we can get rid of it. And I know Tom Izzo was like, no, we're not doing that. Where do you come down on the whole incident and the future of the handshake line?
Yeah, I try to stay away from opinions that don't specifically pertain to teams that I cover or teams that I watch.
Yeah.
Because that's my job. I'm a play-by-play announcer, JP. Yeah. But this was one that really got me up in arms when I heard people like Dick say this, and I respectfully disagree with Dickie V. When I first started hearing people talking about, oh, this is another reason, get rid of the handshake line, it's antiquated, blah, blah, blah. The NBA doesn't do handshake lines. I said, the NBA has players hugging each other and trading jerseys with each other after the freaking games. Like, these guys are best friends now. It's not about sportsmanship and teamwork in the NBA. It's so much more about that at the college level. And while it's not the continued wussification of America, which you and I have talked about this for years now, the participation trophies and this and that, I truly feel this would be another further degradation of our sports society as it reflects on our society as a whole. And by that, I mean, if we are not forcing and teaching and imploring our young people in this world to exhibit the kind of sportsmanship that is required at the end of a game, you go to war in college basketball. Some games are, I cover the Big 12, JP. It is hand-to-hand combat every single night. But at the end of the game, when the zeros come on the clock and the fans are cheering and the cheerleaders are leaving the building, God damn it, shake hands.
Yeah.
And you lost the game and you're fired up because you lost the game, good. You should be. But you don't take it out on the other team in the handshake line. No. You go into the locker room and be mad at yourself and play better the next time. And I do believe, I take Juwan Howard's word for it when he said after a long reflection, I was completely wrong. He was. And I've talked to Juwan. I've covered Juwan. I've interviewed Juwan. He is a prince of a man who lost his temper at the wrong time. And I am not condoning it at all. But how many of us would be castigated from society if we were caught on live television at our worst moment?
Oh, no, thank you.
And that was arguably Juwan Howard's worst moment. And I don't think it's an example of getting rid of the handshake line. I think we could all use it as a lesson of what not to do and move forward by imploring our teams and reminding our teams there is no room for that in college sports.
I couldn't agree more, Rich. That is so well said. The only thing I'll put on top of that is, just from a societal standpoint, we've spent the last 30 years degrading all of our principles and like integrity, sportsmanship, and we don't need to continue to do that. Lowering the standards does not make things better; it makes them worse. And we need to expect our kids and our adults to act like adults with sportsmanship in these times that are stressful. We get it, but it's the measure of a man.
Right.
You lost a game, you got your ass kicked, go shake their hand. It's still a game. It's still a game. There's a lot bigger things going on in this world than getting mad at college basketball. So we got to keep it all in perspective. I think it's important. So I agree with you. Rich, just let me know what you guys are doing now as far as Bally Sports. Do you have any? Are you just playing the waiting game, or is there any preseason specials we're going to get from the Rays, or what's happening?
We are in a holding pattern right now, just like everybody else is. Fortunately, I'm in the weeds with college basketball for another few weeks at least, so it's been able to take my mind off things a little bit. But obviously, I'm keeping my ear to the ground, just like everybody else is, who wants this season so badly to start on time. Because, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, JP, my biggest fear is that if Monday comes and goes and then they are going to have to cancel games, I think that's leading us down an even. I don't think that's the end of it. I think it gets worse from there instead of better from there. And unfortunately, just like most negotiations, JP, this one's playing out on a much bigger stage, but it's a game of chicken. And both sides are just hoping that the other side blinks when, like you were just saying about sportsmanship, like act like adults, come to a meeting and say, wherever we are right now, however far apart it is, let's just meet in the middle because it's for the greater good of our sport, for the fans who pay for us to have this sport, and for everybody surrounding the sport. Just if only you or me were MLB commissioner.
I know, and I think it's a good sign when they get players involved and actual owners involved, because those are the people that are really affected. Negotiators are trying to get the best deal for their side. And they feel that's their job, and they really don't. The only outcome they care about is being the better the other person. When you get the people that are actually involved in it, that are going to be losing salary and losing ticket money, which I think we're getting owners and players to the table, that's when things actually start to move. So I'm encouraged by that. So we'll see. We'll see. All right.
Absolutely.
Give me 20 seconds on who's your Final Four.
Oh,
you've been watching these
20
guys.
Seconds.
Or take as long as you want. I don't care. I know you got to do so.
Well, I think there's no reason to think Gonzaga is not going to be back in the Final Four. My optics are tilted towards the Big 12. They are, I think, far and away the best conference in basketball. So I think there could be two teams from the Big 12 that make it to the Final Four. I just had Kansas at Kansas on Tuesday night, and they offensively look as good as anybody in the country not named Gonzaga. I'll put them in the Final Four. I will also put Texas Tech in the Final Four.
Really?
And then my fourth team, I mean, you could choose another dozen teams, but because of the way they defend and because of Jabari Smith, I'll pick the Auburn Tigers as my other final.
Yeah, I saw them play in person against USF, and those guys defend. When they want to defend, they are incredibly athletic, and their coach is a psycho, by the way. Bruce Pearl is a psycho. So I'm sitting right behind him on courtside, and that dude never stopped. He never stopped yelling. Like for 2.5 hours. It was I don't know where he gets the energy, but man, he's a special dude. I love that guy. He's good. All right. As I love you, my friend, I thank you for coming on all the time. I really appreciate your time and look forward to chatting as this baseball season gets started. Thanks, buddy.
All right, JP. Always good catching up.
All right, coming up next, Leo Haggerty, hopefully not with a mouthful of food. We will chat with him next about the Bolts. He's got a little USF spring practice coming up as well. We'll throw that in and talk to the Buccaneers. Stay with us. The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best of the year and the best stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. Wow, the crowds, and another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities, including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com. Well, it's never been more important to support each other and support local businesses like Italiano Insurance that has been around for over 60 years, serving our community with great customer service and also giving back to our locals in need. Their Metropolitan Ministries Holiday Food Drive was another tremendous success this year. Why call a 1-800 number when you can call your trusted neighbors at Italiano Insurance who will save you money? In Boca Grande, 941-964-0400. That's 941-964-0400. Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in? But have you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at DeFiLava.com. Don't let folks make some money at DeFiLava.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on. Welcome back. FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back. We are presented by Bay Area Modern Medical Center in our second hour. Christopher Lugo and his medical team will get you right. Find out more at BAMMC.com if you're looking for some testosterone replacement, hormone therapy, or just getting healthy. They will have a personalized program just for you. It's how they do it at Bay Area Modern Medical Center. All right, I want to welcome in our good friend Leo Haggerty, editor-in-chief of It Sports Magazine, covering all things Tampa Bay. What's up, Leo? How are you?
JP, I'm fine, but you have me following a testosterone commercial.
That's right, baby.
68 years old.
That's
I'm telling
right.
you, I don't know what's worse, that or chewing my food is a question to Cooper. What do you think?
What you got going with Cooper on these Zoom calls, man, is it's special. He really loves you. And we couldn't stop laughing the other day when you were at dinner and you asked a question and he's like, all right, chew your food, Leo. Chew your
I don't know if you had a chance to see his reaction when he asked me if I was on the couch. I said, no, I'm at a restaurant after watching the game. He was shocked.
I know.
It was a great reaction.
Well, what do you think about the Bolts last night in that nice 5-3 win over Connor McDavid and the boys? They had some jump from the beginning, didn't fall behind. Good hockey game.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If there's a better player than Connor McDavid, I haven't seen him. And again, I don't know if you caught the sound from the question I asked Coach Cooper last night. You know, does he show up that well on film? He goes, no, you can't imagine. And what he said I thought was profound. He is the fastest skater with the puck he's seen in a while. And boy, I got to agree with that, JP. It's almost like it's glued to his stick.
Yeah.
And the two goals he got, there's not a whole lot of holes in Vasilevsky, and he found both of them. So it was to get a win over the Oilers, who they haven't played in 2 years.
I know.
That's phenomenal, even that. And to have Corey Perry get his 400th goal, man, that was exciting.
Yeah, it was a great night at Emily last night. Gronk was there. I mean, the stars were out, and the stars you had on the ice were just tremendous. And Draisaitl almost ties it there, hits the post in the 6-on-5. I was secretly hoping for a little 3-on-3 hockey with the talent that was out there on that ice. That would have been, I don't know if that's one of the few teams where I think the Lightning may be at a little bit of a disadvantage in 3-on-3. What do you think?
Oh, I got to agree.
Yeah.
Only because of those three people that the two forwards that the Oilers can put on. And again, the defenseman gets one. Who gets the other one?
Yeah.
So, yeah, it would be advantage Edmonton, definitely.
Yeah, and just a fun game to watch last night. And now the Lightning are off to the Stadium Series, which Nick and I will be heading to in Nashville for the big party. So looking forward to that. Going to be fun. And, take on a Nashville team that's kind of in the playoff hunt. So, and this team, I said this earlier, I don't know if you agree, that I just think their best hockey is ahead of them this year, that they really haven't tapped into what this team can really be as a whole because of all the guys that have missed so many games with Pointer and Kucherov, and these young guys getting better, and that, that school bus line has been really, really good. I think their best hockey is ahead of them. What do you think?
Well, I got to agree. Again, the best thing they have now is availability. They're finally getting fully healthy. And JP, let's be honest, as long as you put 88 in net, you're in the game.
Yeah.
There aren't too many clunkers he's going to have. And he's not going to have four of them in a 7-game series. So the big thing with the Lightning now, and I agree with you, get used to playing with people, but stay healthy. That's the big thing. And what I find amazing is how athletic their defensemen are. They don't really get a lot of credit, but Hedman and Chernak and Ruda, these guys are athletic.
Yeah.
And that really helps clearing stuff out in front of Gillespie.
Yeah, and they're also they got an attitude. I mean, last night they cleared out the crease in a very real way. And they, that's playoff hockey, and they're gonna get to that. They'll get a physical test with Smashville here coming up, and I'm very excited what the rest of the season holds for the Lightning. I think they're in good shape. They're rested. Obviously, 30 games in 59, 60 days is going to be tough. Everybody doing that. So, here we go down the stretch. It's going to be fun. Do you think they'll make any deals at the deadline?
Well, I'll tell you what, JP. Here's the thing. You sit in the room and you go, if it's broke, fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Right.
I think you'll always look for a defenseman. That's just the nature of the beast in this league. But right now, their top three lines, I don't see how you can improve it unless you really make a blockbuster deal.
Yeah, that's
and you'd have to give away players for that. It's not in a situation where they're in dire need of a player.
No.
That's for sure. So I think they may sit pat and see what's going on and go from there. And JP, you're right about the 30 games in like 60 days.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a stretch of 9 out of 10. I think they go away for 4, come back for 1, and away for 5. So it's going to be
it's going to be tough.
The best thing they go is to them. Everything's better than that 65-day onslaught they had in the first cup battle where they were just completely isolated. So everything else to them is like, hey, so what? We've done this before.
Yeah, I think the COVID restrictions are limiting going away. So that's going to make it easier on their lives too. So that's good news. Leo Haggerty joining us here, editor-in-chief, It Sports Magazine. So there seems to be this pivot to Blaine Gabbert this week. The Bucs are talking a lot about Blaine Gabbert taking over. That signals to me they think Brady's coming back and they're going to keep his spot warm for him. What do you think it signals?
JP, until Brady actually says, okay, I'm done. And again, here's the mindset that you're dealing with a guy like Tom Brady. He goes into the facility at 5 a.m, watches film, stays there, does everything. All of a sudden now he packs the kids off to school. Now, what's he going to do for the next 6 hours? And again, I'm retired. I understand that, but I've got something to keep me active.
Yeah.
With the sports stuff.
Well, he's got plenty
Brady,
to
what
keep
does
him
he do
active.
now?
He's
So,
got his, all
we're
his
seeing he's going to do a
businesses.
film and everything like that. I think that's more of a camouflage as to where it's going. And I'll tell you what, I would not be surprised to see number 12 back under center.
Listen, if his skills were diminishing in any way, I would say, yeah, he'll probably hang it up, but they're not. He had maybe his best season throwing the football, and I don't buy. I mean, he may want to go play someplace else, but he doesn't want to learn a new playbook. You remember what he talked about, how hard that was to do here, and I don't think the Bucs are going to make it easy for him to go anywhere. So I think if he does want to play, and I think he will want to play maybe in a month or two, I think that's why the Bucs are doing this. They probably know compensation for Russell Wilson is going to be so onerous that they just don't feel like they can pull the trigger. And their next best option, I think, at that point is to just wait and see if Brady will come back. And if not, it'll be a season of Gabbert and Trask developing. I think if you can't get Russell Wilson, that would be the best way to go. What do you think?
Well, yeah, and again, everybody talks about playing Gabbert, and the guy's not chopped liver. We just don't know what he can do on a full season.
Right.
But again, JP, here's the best scenario. Say Tom Brady says, I want to go to San Francisco. Okay, great. San Francisco, you got to come up with at least 2 number 1s and 2 number 2s. That gives you some draft capital to go after a quarterback now.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to give away Tom Brady. That's not going to happen.
Nope.
So if he wants to go play with someone else, it's going to cost you, and it's going to cost you dearly. So if Tom Brady isn't here, the Bucs have a lot of draft capital to play with. And JP, real quick, back to the Lightning. I mean, what's it like for these guys looking at what's going on in the Ukraine and wondering, hey, I may have a relative in there. I may have something going on. Boy, you talk about distraction. This is terrible.
Yeah, it is. So unneeded too. It's a bad situation. I'm also wondering, these NHL hockey players, what's going on in Canada? I mean, much more personal to them. They have family members now that are in this, martial law, soon to be communist state. I mean, it's not good what's going on in Canada. Ordinary Canadians getting their bank accounts frozen, their livelihoods taken away. I mean, it's awful what's going on in Canada. And I wonder if there's not going to be some type of backlash, or NHL players are going to start making political statements about it. Personally, I hope they do, because it's what's going on there is wrong on so many levels. So you think that will impact the players at all? I mean, what is it? We 60% Canadian players in this league?
Oh, absolutely. Look at all the 7 teams you got up there. So it's going to be a problem. You can't just ignore it. And again, that's what everybody said. Why were players during the pandemic? You couldn't ignore it.
No.
You can't ignore this. What's going on in Canada? What's going on in the Ukraine? It's terrible because, again, they're on the phone trying to find out from relatives what's going on, and sometimes you can't even get contact. That's even worse.
All right, my friend, tell everybody how they can get your content. It's Sports Magazine.
Well, you know what, JP? We moved on. We started a new place called Amped Up Sports. So go to Amped Up Sports. I'm putting out a daily article. I call it the AM Report, which I cover all the events of the day and put it out right around midnight. So not sleep, the spondylosis, so to speak.
No tiring for you. All right, my friend. Good stuff. We'll chat with you next week. Have a great weekend.
Will do. Hey, remember, what happens in Nashville stays in Nashville.
Well, no, we're bringing back great stories for Monday. We definitely are. No question. So tune in on
Even
Monday.
Better.
We got good stuff.
Safe flight.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. The great Leo Haggerty there. Mouth not full of food, thankfully. All right, we'll take a quick break, and then my man Nick here is going to take you all the way home as I'm headed off to the airport to head to Smashville and see my lovely daughter. Cannot wait. And we will be on social media all weekend long, so check out all the videos and pictures. We'll have it, and then a full report on Monday. So stay with us. Nick's going to take you home. Homeowners, listen up. Property values have risen in the Tampa Bay area to record levels, some up to 24% in 1 year. It's time to refinance your home and pull out the equity before rates go through the roof. Call my man Scott Fitzgerald at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Scott believes interest rates will be over 5 very soon due to the volatile economy and inflation, but you can still lock in the mid-3s, but not for long. This means you can save tens of thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. Now, Scott is an independent broker, so he can shop your mortgage around for the best rates, and he will pay for your appraisal if you mention you heard it here on the JP Show. That's a $500 to $700 value. Scott does not charge the huge upfront fees like the big banks do. In this uncertain economy and political climate, better to have cash in hand now. So call Scott at 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. If you're feeling run down, your workout sucks, or your sexual libido is not what it used to be, check out Bay Area Modern Medical Center. That happened to me a few years ago, and I found out I had the testosterone level of a second-grade girl. That's not good. Our food, environment, and stress can cause your T levels to drop. Bay Area Modern Medical Center can help, and they are different. They offer customized hormone replacement for both men and women. Christopher Lugo and his medical staff can help you restore your energy, your sex drive, and your feelings of well-being. It was a total game changer for me. I have way more energy, lost 30 pounds, and I'm performing better in all areas of my life. Nobody wants to talk about sexual health, but it's key to a balanced life. We offer discreet treatments with real-world results. So if you're suffering from a lack of interest in sex, ED, or lack of sexual stamina, Dr. Lugo and his staff can help. Take your health care to the next level at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com. The PGA Tour's Valspar Championship is back in March in 2022, March 14th through the 20th, right in the middle of the best weather of the year and the last stop on the Florida swing. The Valspar has become one of the must-do events on the Tampa Bay sports and social calendar, so get your best tickets before they sell out. The game's biggest stars love the Copperhead course in Innisbrook. Last year, we saw Dustin Johnson, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth. Wow, the crowds in another star-studded field is expected again this year. Sam Burns took the title and will defend again at the Copperhead. This will be a full tournament with the return of Valspar Live, our free Saturday concert featuring Chris Young and Big and Rich, and other amenities including Chameleon Cove, the Hooters Owl's Nest, the Publix Chill Lounge, and other hospitality venues. Go to ValsparChampionship.com for tickets. The best premium hospitality areas will sell out, so don't wait. That's ValsparChampionship.com. JP here for my friend, attorney Christopher Palermo. If you are having issues with a claim on your homeowner's insurance from a sinkhole, storm damage, water intrusion, defective stucco, and construction defects, or any other issue, Christopher is your man. These big insurance companies didn't get rich paying out what you deserve. Chris founded his practice in 2009 with a passion to help all Floridians with disputes where they were forced to take on the powerful and needed a champion in their corner. Chris wants to make sure you will receive the most aggressive and compassionate representations. He has recovered millions in settlements on behalf of his clients facing defective stucco damage and other construction issues. So call Chris, mention the JP Show, and he will give you a free consultation. That's 813-221-5636, or go to PalermoPA.com. He's a fifth-generation Tampanian graduate of Jesuit High School and the University of Florida, and he cares deeply about you and the community. That's 221-5636 or PalermoPA.com. Are you selling your home or refinancing? JP here for Greenleaf Title. You choose the title company, not the realtor, and it makes a difference. You want a reputable company that will make sure your title is safe and secure. There are a lot of scammers out there right now. So go with a trusted company like Greenleaf Title. Plus, they will close anywhere, folks, and they will send a limo to pick you up to come to the closing. Yep, the great JP Limo Closing is back. All you got to do is give them a call at 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. We'll set up the limo for you. They'll come pick you up. Heck, we even picked up one couple, took them to Black Rock Restaurant, one of our favorite advertisers, and then to the closing. That's how they do it at Greenleaf Title. Great service. We'll close anywhere. The lowest fees in the business. 727-258-6005 or go to greenleaftitle.com. That's greenleaftitle.com. Well, it's never been more important to support each other and support local businesses like Italiano Insurance that has been around for over 60 years, serving our community with great customer service and also giving back to our locals in need. Their Metropolitan Ministries Holiday Food Drive was another tremendous success this year. Why call a 1-800 number when you can call your trusted neighbors at Italiano Insurance who will save you money? In Boca Grande, 941-964-0400. That's 941-964-0400. Cryptocurrency is all the rage today. The market cap for the industry is now over $1 trillion. And you read about people making millions of dollars, right? You want to get in, but have no idea what to do? Or maybe you dabbled a bit and you want to unlock the real money-making opportunities and don't know how to do it. There are over 10,000 tokens and thousands of decentralized finance exchanges to navigate. So what do? You go to DeFiLava.com. The folks at DeFiLava.com are in Tampa Bay, and they work with you directly to set up custom accounts, answer all your questions, and provide market analysis. Decentralized finance and cryptocurrencies are here to stay and will change the financial markets as we know them. Get in the game. Get with the experts at DeFiLava.com and tell them JP sent you and get their free 2022 crypto market forecast today at DeFiLava.com. Don't get left behind, folks. Make some money at DeFiLava.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Just about 15 minutes remaining here for Thursday's show, and host Nick Eddy's here going to take you to the end here as JP has just departed. He's getting on a plane to head to Nashville to visit his daughter at Belmont University, and we will be there as well at the Stadium Series game between the Lightning and Predators, which we spent a whole deal talking about today, also breaking down the game last night against the Oilers. And as a reminder, tomorrow's show is a pre-tape special that we did, an hour long. He'll be traveling, and so will be I. So it's going to be a Stadium Series preview kind of show. Lightning looking ahead to the second half of the season. So if you're listening to us tomorrow, that's what we're going to have up there for you. Just as a reminder, the second hour is sponsored by the Bay Area Modern Medical Center of Tampa Bay. But I wanted to talk about this real quick before I go back to sports. I just wanted to say this because I feel like certain things you have to talk about. And we all know what's going on in Ukraine, at least somewhat, that at least we know the general scope that Russia has officially invaded Ukraine and is taking in now troops and things like that. And it really is a sad situation. And I think equally as sad is the reaction that we have over here in America to these things. And this is what kind of bothers me. We spend so much time debating each other and arguing with each other on an app called Twitter. We do so much of it, right? With politics and sport, everything we do. And with this Ukraine, I've been reading so much reaction from Americans today, and there's a consistent theme, and people are taking shots at this president and the former president and these people in Congress and that people in everybody's taking shot at all these leaders. How could you let this happen? Frankly, I'm not as well versed in the situation as others to tell you everything that's going on in Ukraine and Russia. I don't understand why it's an American issue, but I also don't understand why we're playing a blame game here. I just don't get it. And that's my larger point is we spend so much time blaming each other. Why can't we just have compassion for what's going on in Ukraine? For the citizens. I've seen videos. I mean, people just driving around in their cars, locked in their houses, and there's explosions going off. I mean, you can't imagine that, right? Happening in America. So have compassion. Have compassion today. That's my message. Stop arguing with each other about whose fault it is, why it happened, the blame game. I'm tired of reading about it. It's exhausting. So that's my message to everybody today is if you have an opinion on this on Twitter, don't involve it to pit this president versus that president, please. All right, with that out of the way, I'll go back to sports here. And we've spent a lot of deal talking about Bucs quarterback, obviously, in the offseason. and the Tom Brady situation, which we've talked about ad nauseum. And I want to expound on my earlier point about Blaine Gabbert, because a lot of people, I'm going to be honest, a lot of y'all are trying to talk yourselves into Blaine Gabbert. You're trying to talk yourself into it. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. Blaine Gabbert is not the quarterback the Bucs need. Okay, I'm reading stuff like that says this is the quarterback he's not the quarterback the Bucs need. The Bucs are one defensive play away from going to an NFC Championship game, likely going to the Super Bowl and winning the Super Bowl maybe. That's where the roster is. The roster is not, let's have Blaine Gabbert, because there are stopgaps to get to the next quarterback, and there are backups. He is a backup. He has been a backup his entire career, save the first year in Jacksonville and the 1 year where him and Kaepernick went back and forth in San Francisco in 2016. I don't know what else y'all need to know. He's 13-35 as a starter in his career, 50 touchdowns, 40 interceptions. Why do Bucs fans want that? Don't talk yourself into that. And people say, well, what if he goes off? Is everybody going to... He's not. He's not. I feel very confident in saying that. There are certain guys who, yes, you could plug into certain systems and plug into certain rosters and say, oh, imagine him with that team. Blaine Gabbert is a backup quarterback. That's the end of the story. He will win you 6-7 games max. And Raymond James Stadium was rocking in 2021. It was great to be in the stadium. And for a younger Bucs fan like me, it was the first time I've ever seen that stadium filled to capacity. And more likely than not, 80%, 90% Bucs fans too. It's very exciting. You know, they've sold all their luxury seats on these 3-year deals. I believe they've been doing them, which of course, expecting Brady was going to be here for 3 years. Blaine Gabbert is not going to move the needle here in Tampa Bay. And not many guys will, following Tom Brady. I'm understanding that, but you cannot go from Tom Brady to Blaine Gabbert and actually feel good about it and actually talk yourself into it that the Bucs are going to be just fine. They will not be just fine if Blaine Gabbert's the quarterback. The stadium, I fear, will go back to being 45,000, 50,000 people in there. Okay? I fear that. And people will have the narrative, well, then those aren't real Bucs fans. Perhaps. But history has shown us fans show up to the games, the Bucs games, when they're good. They did that during the 95 to 2005 run, where the stadium was packed every single Sunday. They did it here in 2021, where to sit in the upper deck, you're spending a couple hundred. Okay? It ain't happening like that with Blaine Gabbert. You're going to go back to playing 1:00 football games on Sunday. Oh, you're getting prime. So let's just cut to that. And I'm always been saying that the Russell Wilson trade, the Deshaun Watson trade, be nice. It would be nice. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not one of those that looks at the salary cap too hard. I think that's something that us fans and media do. We look at the salary cap. I don't think teams really look at that as much. And the Bucs can restructure, I think, up to 60 or 70 million of the salary cap. So I'm not as worried about them fitting under the cap, but Seattle looks like they want to keep Russell Wilson. They look like they want to hold on to him for whatever reason it is. And even if they want to trade him, the draft capital is going to be extensive. And I'm not saying the Bucs should not trade for him if they have the opportunity. I'm saying it's very, very unlikely. I wouldn't hold on to that hope. Deshaun Watson is the same thing. What Texans want for him is even more than what Russell Wilson wants, and he's going through legal issues. And the report just came from today from Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio that teams are not going to be deterred from acquiring him based on what happens in the law. I personally cannot see that happening to be the Bucs. And I know that the odd day Bucs, I think, are plus 350 right now, behind only the Commanders. There's no way he's accepting a trade to the Commanders. He has the no trade. He's got to accept a trade there. Yes, he'd probably come to the Bucs rather than the Commanders, but I still think it's very, very unlikely the Bucs are able to pull off that trade. Very, very unlikely to pull off that trade because the capital that you would have to give up. I don't know if the Bucs feel comfortable with that. So that's where you pivot to my plan. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear this. The Jimmy Garoppolos of the world, the Carson Wentz's of the world, and yes, the Jameis Winstons of the world. They can win with this team. I feel pretty confident about that. And you might be saying, well, what about Blaine Gabbert? If they can, they're different. They are different. Those are starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Those are legitimate starters in the NFL who have varying degrees of success in this league. And I know everybody's going to look at, well, Jimmy Garoppolo had the running game and Deebo Samuel and the Niners and Kyle Shanahan. That's fair. That's fair. Don't get me wrong. I've never said Jimmy Garoppolo is the best quarterback in the world, right? Never said that. I'm just strictly looking at a win-loss record with him at quarterback. I'm looking at the way he had to fight through all the noise, all the criticism that he's dealt with, the Niners drafting Trey Lance, basically telling him, like, hey, we're replacing you. He could have won the Super Bowl this year, and they were still going to replace him. Imagine that. Imagine playing through that. He still did it. His teammates have stuck by him the entire time. He's very well loved in that organization. And remember, he's the only quarterback that Tom Brady ever had a problem with being in New England. So we think. The only one that he was, quote unquote, threatened by was Jimmy Garoppolo, where he had to be traded. So chew on that. I think that he would work here. I think Carson Wentz, we haven't talked about a lot. I think he would work here as well. And I'm not saying these are going to win you Super Bowls. I think they keep you in the mix. And I think that's what the Bucs need. You need a quarterback that can keep you in the mix. Carson Wentz keeps you in the mix. Jimmy Garoppolo does the same exact thing. And Jameis Winston, although a reunion would be really tough to pull off because of how it ended, right? And that lasting image of that game in Atlanta with that pick six, I know that leaves a sour taste in everybody's mouth, and that felt like it should have been it, right? His career with the Bucs started with a pick six and ends with a pick six. It's perfect. But it's been 2 years. It's been 2 years. And I think the parties have moved on from what happened there. I think Jameis Winston's a much better quarterback than he was then. And you know, Sean Payton did protect him. And that'd be my only concern with him coming to Tampa Bay is, would Bruce Arians and would Byron Leftwich be able to protect Jameis Winston? Because Sean Payton did a great job of that, and Jameis Winston only threw 3 interceptions this year before he tore his ACL. The LASIK injury, I don't know if that really helps him see much. I mean, according to everybody I've heard talk about it, apparently it does. I don't know. But I'm just saying, if you want to stay in the mix, if you're the Bucs, then I think those options, they do it for you. They do it for you. And I do think those guys have varying levels of franchise quarterback in them. And I know I'm on an island with that. But play the game. Would you rather have Blaine Gabbert or those guys? I'm saying right now, those 3 guys are substantially better than Blaine Gabbert. And if you don't sign a quarterback and you want to roll with Gabbert and Trask, then at that point, I'd rather see Kyle Trask back there. There's no point in peddling out a backup quarterback for the entire season when Kyle Trask, you invested a second-round pick in. Let's see it. So that'll be my opinion on it. I know JP is holding hope that Tom Brady's coming back. I think we all need to get up that train. At least let it go for a few months. Let's see it play out. The new league year starts March 16th. Free agency starts the same day, 4 o'clock, I believe. We'll know then. We'll don't know when the Bucs are going. All right, we got a few minutes here. Just a few news and notes. Of note here. Troy Aikman is reportedly, according to the New York Post, is going to ESPN to be their lead analyst for Monday Night Football. 5 years, 17.5 million, rather. 17.5 million to announce football games. There is money, folks, in announcing, in sports announcing, a very coveted job. Troy Aikman's been at Fox for a long, long time with Joe Buck. The report does mention that they are possibly looking to lure Joe Buck as well to ESPN. And that would be your new Monday Night Football broadcast team, just basically going from Fox to ESPN. And I kind of like that. I don't know about a lot of y'all feel, but Monday Night Football, to me, is so watered down now. It is so watered down. Everything. I mean, the opening doesn't get me excited anymore. The panelists they have before the games doesn't get me excited anymore. And typically they throw the better games now on Sunday Night Football. They always throw the best game. Monday Night Football gets crapshoot a lot of the times. I can't stay invested. although I have liked the work of Levy, Riddick, and Brian Greasy, I don't know if it felt at times like a Monday Night Football crew because they had large shoes to fill. They need to get two guys in there who can be there for a long time because it's been a revolving door, and that stuff shouldn't happen at ESPN for Monday Night Football. It should be a coveted job. And I think Troy Aikman going there, I think Joe Buck and Al Michaels going there as well would help a lot. So that's my opinion on that. But with that, we are out of time. Been a great show today on a Thursday. Thank you to Tracy West, Valspar Championship, giving us an update on who's going to be playing there as Media Day comes up here on Monday. Rich Hollenberg joining us to talk about the Rays. I tell you, I miss baseball. I love baseball, and I'm sad that it's not here right now, but love getting to talk a little bit of Rays with Rich. And, of course, Leo as well, talking Bolts and Bucs and USF, all those great things. We're going to be back on Monday. Like I said, tomorrow, pre-tape show, Lightning versus Predator Stadium Series special. Give that a listen, and we'll see you next week.